Hi friends, good morning. This is Dr. Harinath Reddy, Faculty for Indian Polity and Constitution. We all know that 16th Finance Commission is working on a report which is to be published very soon on center-state financial relations. So, in the context of the upcoming report of the 16th Finance Commission, what are the major problems in the center-state financial relations and how the 16th Finance Commission must prioritize in addressing these center-state financial relations? We will have a look at it. So, let us begin with the problems in the center-state financial relations. If you take the Constitution of India, in the distribution of financial powers between the center and the states, we can clearly make out that the revenue raising capacity of the state governments is limited compared to the developmental responsibilities. On the contrary, the revenue raising capacity of the Indian government, the union government, is far superior compared to the developmental responsibilities. So, this has resulted in vertical imbalance. And the Finance Commission of India, through its recommendations, will try to address these vertical imbalances. At the same time, there are also imbalances among the states. In India, we have 28 states and all the states do not have the same level of socio-economic development. Some states in South India and Western India, they are relatively much better developed. Some states in North India, Northeast India, Central India, Eastern India are relatively backward. These are called horizontal imbalances. So, the Finance Commission of India will try to address both vertical and horizontal imbalances, and precisely this is the reason why the Finance Commission of India is called the balancing wheel in the center-state financial relations. And as per the recommendations of the 15th Finance Commission, the states are getting 41% share in the net tax revenues of the union government. So, in the net tax revenues of the union government, the share of all the states is 41%. Here you should know what is a net tax revenue. So, how do we arrive at a net tax revenue? For this we also need to know about the gross tax revenue. So, from the gross tax revenue, we need to take away the revenues coming from cesses and surcharges, and we also need to take away the cost of collecting the taxes. For example, if the gross tax revenue is assumed as 110 rupees, the cost of collecting the taxes may be 1 to 2 rupees and the share of cesses and surcharges may be around 9 to 10 rupees, which means in the gross tax revenue of 110 rupees, if the cesses and surcharges and the cost of collection together is 10 rupees, and if you remove 1 from 110, 10 rupees, if 10 rupees is deducted from 110, it will give you the net tax revenue of 100 rupees. Remember, the 41% share which is given to all the 28 states, this share is given in the net tax revenue, not in the gross tax revenue. This we must keep in mind. And again, we also should remember that in the very beginning, all the central taxes of the union government are not shared with states. For example, personal income tax is shared with states, but not corporation tax. Similarly, central excise duty is shared with states, but not customs duty. So, in 1980, in 2000, on the recommendations of the 10th Finance Commission, headed by K.C. Pant, we have come up with an alternate scheme of devolution, wherein all the central government tax revenues are shared with the states. A certain share is given to all the 28 states from the union government and net tax revenue. So, this is called alternate scheme of devolution. Though the amendment was brought in 2000, that is the 80th amendment, it has come into implementation with a retrospective effect from 1996. So, the difference in the period before 1996 and after 1996 is, before 1996 all the central government taxes are not shared with states, but from 1996 the states will get a share from all the central government tax revenues, but it is from the net tax revenues. So, here the first complaint of the state governments is, if you see then the net tax revenues, the states are getting 41%, but this money is given on the recommendations of the Finance Commission. So, the Finance Commission gives its recommendations based on a set of criteria, for example, area of the state, population of the state, income distance, ecology and forest cover, demographic performance, tax effort, etc. Here, all these criteria, they are broadly divided into two categories: equity criteria and efficiency criteria. So, equity means equality. If there is more population, more money is given. If area is more money is given. If poverty of the state is more money is given. So, in the criteria adopted by the Finance Commission of India in the last several years, equity was given greater weightage over efficiency, and because of this, southern states are continuously losing their share in the divisible pool. In the last 6 Finance Commission report periods, the southern states got lesser money compared to the northern states. This is because equity was given more weightage compared to efficiency. So, the southern states were asking and demanding to give more weightage to the criteria of performance or efficiency. So, this is one thing which the 16th Finance Commission must keep in mind. So, though the share of all the 28 states in the net tax revenue has increased over a period of time, for example, in the beginning all the states got 29% in the net tax revenues. So, this has increased subsequently to 29.5, 30.5, 32, and now it is 41. So, in the net tax revenues, the states have got an increasing share, but if you see it in the form of gross tax revenue, so all the 28 states as a share of gross tax revenue, their share is coming down. In the last 5 years, it was 31%. In the period of 5 years before the recent 5 years, it was 35%, which means in the gross tax revenues, the share of all the 28 states has come down from 35 to 31%. This is again one more complaint which the states are making. And what is the reason for this? A decline in the share of the states in the gross tax revenue. The reason is attributed to an increasing share of cesses and surcharges in the gross tax revenue. In the gross tax revenue, the share of cesses and surcharges is close to 10 to 11%. Cess is a tax on tax for a specific purpose. Surcharge is also a tax on tax for a general purpose. This money can be used for any matter. So, here in the last 10 years, the union government has mobilized around 36 lakh crores as the revenue from cess and surcharge. And in the cesses and surcharges levied by the union government, the states do not have a share. So, in the gross tax revenue, there was a rising share of the cesses and surcharges in which the states do not have a share. So, the states are demanding that they must be given a share in the central government cesses and surcharges, or the union government must reduce its revenues through cesses and surcharges. So, this is one more issue which the 16th Finance Commission must try to address in its report. Then the next problem, the third problem is, the money reaches from the center to the states in several ways. So, the states will get a share in the central government and net tax revenues on the recommendations of the Finance Commission. These transfers are called statutory transfers. This money is given on a transparent and objective criteria, so the states do not have any complaint. And similarly, the states also get grants in aid from the center on the recommendations of the Finance Commission of India. Even these grants are given on a certain specific criteria and which is non-discriminatory. But under Article 282, we had a component called discretionary grants. So, the money which is given by the central government to the states under centrally sponsored schemes, it is called a discretionary transfer. And in the total transfers which come to the states from the center, the share of the money which comes through Finance Commission, it is only 1/4, but 3/4 of the transfers from the center to the states, they are discretionary, which means there is no transparent and objective criteria for giving discretionary funds to the state governments. Here again the states also have a complaint. Even Madan Mohan Punche Commission, which is the second commission on center-state relations, has recommended reducing the discretionary transfers and increasing the statutory transfers. And recently, if you see in the budget 2025-26 and even in the previous budget 2024-25, states like Andhra Pradesh and Bihar were given special developmental assistance. So this also comes under discretionary transfers. So when the money is given by the center to the states under the category of discretionary transfers under Article 282 without a transparent and objective criteria, this will create a problem for the states. The states have a complaint on this. So this is one more issue which is to be addressed by the 16th Finance Commission of India. So these are the major problems in the center-state financial relations. And also in addition to this, the Madan Mohan Punche Commission, which is the Commission on Center-State Relations, also has recommended greater involvement of states in finalizing the terms of reference of the Finance Commission of India. So the ability of the states to finance their expenditure has come down from 69% in 1955-56 to just 38% in the recent past, which means in the total expenditure made by the state governments, earlier they were able to take the burden of 69% of the total expenditure. But now the ability of the states to bear the expenditure burden has come down to 38%. So this is because the taxes which are given to the states in the state list, they are not buoyant taxes. But the taxes which are given to the central government in the union list, they are buoyant. Buoyant means with increase in the size of the economy, the revenue from these taxes will also increase. And after the implementation of GST, the fiscal autonomy of the state governments has further got constrained. So keeping all these things in mind, for cultivating the better center-state financial relations in the spirit of cooperative federalism, the central government has to be much more magnanimous and more proactive in addressing the problems of the states. So let's hope the report of the 16th Finance Commission will reflect the needs and aspirations of the state governments without compromising the financial ability of the central government. Thank you and all the best.